Hello there, guys. Welcome back to Younes Talks Football. I hope all of you are doing well as we get into the fallout from yesterday's game, where it finished ES Tunis. Well, I say yesterday. I mean, technically earlier this morning. Feels like yesterday. ES Tunis 0, Chelsea 3. If you didn't catch that match review, make sure you go and have a look. And to add on a point in relation to that game, we're going to start off about Andre Santos, because we saw him come on yesterday. He did get about 25 minutes, plus stoppage time included, that is. And I argued in my review that it's not enough time. I would have given him a whole half. I would have liked to see some additional minutes even against LAFC to get a better idea. I'm thankful that he did get something better than nothing, but I just don't think it was enough for us to know much about how he fits in the Chelsea team. But Maresca seems to have an idea. So let's get into what Maresca has said. Here it is. All coming out of Kieran Gill today from the Daily Mail, saying Maresca feels Andre Santos needs more sessions with him before he could become a starter. Have to bear in mind here, we're talking about becoming a starter, which is not going to be the plan anyway. I don't think, because Caicedo and Enzo are there, but he's meant to be an option. Squad depth alongside Lavia, where he will play. He will come on during league games. He will get minutes. He will start games in cup games, in even Champions League games, perhaps, in games where rotation is needed. There will be some shifting, because we can't go into next season with Caicedo and Enzo in the same way we did last season, where it was just Caicedo, Enzo, Caicedo, Enzo, Caicedo, Enzo, Caicedo, Enzo, Caicedo, Enzo. That's it, just them two. Where we should be grateful that nothing happened to them and that they're fit. Fair play to the both of them for actually going through that sort of thing. But Santos will be used, which is why it's ludicrous to us if he is up for sale, or if he is going to be entertained to leave the club, or if the club are considering if a bid comes in, or which is what everyone's fear is. Because Santos has had really good development, and now it's the time to see whether he can do it at Chelsea, and there is a belief that he can. But we got to be realistic. Yeah, he's not just going to walk in ahead of Caicedo or Enzo right now. That's understandable, and I don't think he should expect that too. But Maresca saying that he needs more sessions. This goes back to the point that I suggested, where it's all about the automations. It's all about the automations, which I'm not a fan of that word, honestly. I don't like when football becomes really robotic, which is where it's heading, which is where it's headed for many clubs and players. And I feel like it's nice when there's an element of flexibility, which is why I really like Thomas Tuchel. When Thomas Tuchel, if you remember, said, look, there's a certain amount that I want the player to know, but after that, it's up to the player. There's some things that the coach cannot get involved in, which is in a certain point in the game where the player has to find a solution right there in that space. The coach can't help him. You sort yourself out. That flexibility is what I enjoy, and I know it's expected of all players, but I feel like there are coaches that want to automate everything. Every possible scenario, every possible run, every possible space, every possible way. Everything is covered. I'm like, that's not realistic, you know? So I don't know what Maresca's expectation is of Santos here, what he's trying to do, how far is he trying to take him in order to learn all of these automations, in order for him to know the system inside out, which is even to this day, and this is one thing that we have to get with, we have to understand about Maresca. Even to this day, we still struggle to fully understand what is the system. I hope you understand what I'm saying here. Because it always seems like it's one way. And then you start to see different things like, hang on, what is he doing? And then you start to see other things like, no, hang on, we've not seen that before. And then it just keeps, it's at times, it's a bit unclear. And one experiment that we've seen is trying to bring fullbacks into midfield and then sticking with that and then pursuing that instead of playing players in their positions. We're like, okay, well, is that just is that a moment thing, or is that something he really wants to go long term with, or is it? There's so many questions that we feel like are actually unanswered when it comes to the system under Maresca. So we'll see what happens there. But I hope And so far, the indicators out of Chelsea and the indicators out of the team, Maresca, is that Santos is meant to stay. But how he's being used suggests otherwise so far. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully he doesn't go anywhere. Let me know your thoughts on that one. Now, news on Gittins. Gittins. Here it is. New and positive negotiations have taken place in the last few hours between Dortmund, led by boss Sebastian Kehl, and Chelsea regarding Jamie Gittins. However, there is still no agreement or final decision. Borussia Dortmund continue to demand 65 million euros. The feeling at Dortmund is that there are several interested clubs, not just Chelsea. So far, there have still been no direct talks with FC Bayern Munich. Now, one thing to consider here, because I try to be as fair as possible. This is Florian Plettenberg. This is a German source. This is German Sky Sports. This could very well be a piece to put pressure on Chelsea. If you pay attention to the end of that, it suggests that, and we got look, read the wording and pay attention to the wording. PR isn't just exclusive to Chelsea. Most clubs do it. The only problem is that Chelsea don't do it well. That's the only problem. Chelsea do not do PR well at all. They are horrible at it, right? Look at the reading. The feeling at Dortmund is that there are several interested clubs. I don't get that. What feeling? You either know or you don't. Is there or is there not? Do you know what I mean? So this could very well be a German-orientated piece to give the impression to Chelsea, look, they want 65, but guess what? New clubs are interested. So time's ticking. If you want the player, pay up. And 65 million euros is stupid. I mean, come on. Come on. You know, I honestly believe it's just Bayern Munich. Maybe other clubs have looked, but Bayern Munich and Chelsea. But the player wants Chelsea. But 65 million euros is nuts. For Gittins, it's nuts. But are they going to pay? We'll see if there's going to be a structure, if there's going to be add-ons, if there's going to be what we don't know. We don't know. So let me know your thoughts on that one. I honestly believe Gittins will sign for Chelsea Football Club. I think it's going to happen. The player will advocate it. I think this will go down to the very wire where Dortmund will go, okay, just accept. Done. That's it. The player's gone. But for how much? I'm going to try and guess. I'm going to say a deal worth £45 million plus add-ons. I think it's going to somehow go around there. We'll see. Let me know your thoughts. What are your predictions as well? Let me know. Now, other wingers. More from Kieran Gill. If the Jamie Gittins deal cannot be done, Alejandro Garnacho and Malik Fofana remain on Chelsea's winger shortlist. You see? Now, this is the reverse of what I just showed you. This is coming from an English source, right? This is probably Chelsea telling Dortmund, yeah, by the way, look, we're not forced. We've got other options, so shut up and let us just pay a little bit and let us get on with it. And, I mean, these options, I mean, I like one and I don't like one. I mean, flipping hell. But we mentioned Fofana yesterday, before the game, and the situation at Lyon, where they've been relegated, and that now loads of players could go for cut prices because they've been relegated. Subject to an appeal, by the way. They do have a right of appeal, but they're not going to... I'll be shocked if they win that appeal. I'll be shocked, because the facts are the facts. But with Fofana, that's the situation with Garnacho. Look at what Kieran Gill's had to say. This is interesting. Pay attention. When news broke last week that Chelsea were still interested in Garnacho, no to Garnacho was trending on X. Chelsea's higher-ups will take no notice of social media hashtags, but they do take character into account when assessing signings. Bear that one in mind. Bear that one in mind. What does that mean? Again, try and read in between the lines here. Yeah, I'm someone that just tries to read in between the lines, as you can tell. Maybe I'm a bit too extreme. But this is basically, this is basically something where the club, my opinion, the club don't want to make it look like we're listening to social media, but they have to listen to social media. That's what I'm seeing here. They're going, look, we're not going to bother with silly hashtags, silly little messages here. I mean, but, what are they saying? All right, take that down. Write that one down, yeah? And just shut up about it. That's what I believe. Why? Because they've said it themselves. The owners have said it themselves. Content is very, very important to them. And to be fair, the way that the world is heading right now, content is everything. Social media has eclipsed mainstream media now. Social media is number one. Mainstream television, that's back in the day. That's gone now. People aren't watching TV anymore. People are streaming things online, and they're watching YouTube, and they're going on social media apps, and that's where their time is. The attention is there. So Chelsea would be stupid to not pay attention to what's happening on socials. But I don't think they want to give the impression that they're taking social media, the opinions on social media, too seriously, because you can't, it's true, you can't look at every single opinion on social media. That would drive you insane, yeah? But it's obvious that the fan base are not happy with going after Garnacho. No one wants Garnacho. So the club have to take notice. It would be a bit dumb, you know? It wouldn't good, ironically, it wouldn't be good PR, would it? How ironic. But that's that. We'll see. This is why, look, is Garnacho to Chelsea basically dead in the water now? Maybe. But we'll see. We'll see. This is why maybe Fofana is an option, but not just an option. I see a situation where Chelsea go for Gittins, get Gittins, and still go for Fofana, because with Lyon's situation, Chelsea do have a chance to get both of those wingers for a decent price. They could get Gittins and Fofana for maybe total, 70, 75 mil? Probably can, because of Lyon's situation now. So I think Chelsea are looking more down that path. They know if they're going for Garnacho, Garnacho is not going to be cheap. And that's where I think everything gets turned off. That point with the fans don't want him anyway. And the majority of the fans don't. And they know, I think that's where. So let's see what happens. Let me know your thoughts on that one. Do you see Garnacho happening or not? Do you see Gittins and Fofana happening or not? Let me know down below. Now, Marcus Bettonelli has said something hilarious. True, but hilarious. Here it is. Marcus Bettonelli says the prospect of working with winners was why he swapped life as backup goalkeeper at Chelsea for Man City. I can't fault it. Yeah, he's not going to play. But I get if he wants to be in an environment that is actually going to compete for the Premier League title next season, that is more of a chance. Of course it is. You'd be stupid to think that Chelsea have a higher chance of winning the league than City next season. No, it makes sense that it's going to be City. Look at what they've done. Look at their business so far. Look at the team they're assembling. They're starting again. Not starting again, that's the wrong word. They are, I don't want to say rebuilding either. They're transitioning. And they're doing it well. And they're doing it quick. And it's clear, under Pep and the structure at City, this team will be up there. With Chelsea, it's very unclear. We want to be, but it's very unclear. I say we, I mean us, the fans. But we don't know. So Bettonelli, like I've said, he's not going to play. He's going to be a backup here or a backup here. But I'm sure he wants to actually be part of a title-winning celebration just to see what that feels like. So it is what it is. Anyway, I'm talking the Premier League here because Bettonelli has been at Chelsea for a little while. Bettonelli did win the Champions League, technically. Technically. Did he? Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he was there. How long has he been at Chelsea for? I've lost count, I'll be honest. But anyway, let me know your thoughts on that one. Liam Delap. Pay attention to this one. Now we're going to get into some good light-hearted stuff, so enjoy this. Well, Liam Delap is trying to think of his personal goal celebration he can do after he scores next season, and he's open to suggestions. All right, I'll give a suggestion. Yeah, I think he's got to bring this back. You know the Alan Shearer? I mean, no one's done the Alan Shearer since Alan Shearer. I think someone's got to bring that back, right? And I think Liam Delap would be the perfect guy to bring back the Alan Shearer. Just that's it. Just arm in the air and that's it. One arm, done. Yeah? I think you should. that's my suggestion. I think that would be proper prime Barclays football heritage. And Liam Delap strikes me as that sort of guy that can actually pull it off. So I would say that. You have a suggestion? You know. More. Actually, this is bad news. This is bad news. Yeah, let's go from good news to bad news back to good news. Here's the bad news. Chelsea and Aston Villa to discover sanctions next week for UEFA FFP breaches. Great. Great, okay. I think we're going to get fined. And I don't think it's going to be more than that. I did see, there was a rumor about this a couple of weeks ago, I think. And apparently there won't be much more than a little slap on the wrist. We'll see, though. We'll see. Chelsea know what they're doing, though. I mean, financially, in terms of what we're actually pulling off, what we're doing, the loopholes, all of this. Like Chelsea know what they're getting themselves into. And I feel like Chelsea have a contingency plan in place for whatever scenario is going to be. I think... Well, I say this, will Chelsea do something if they know the consequences are going to be seriously severe? Probably not, because on a financial level, these guys are not stupid. They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. We don't agree with a lot of it, but I mean, I'm not saying that they're just doing things blindly. Like, they know what they're pulling off. So, yeah, I think a slap on the wrist. So that's that. We'll see what happens next week. We'll wait until next week. Now, back to the good news, or back to funny news. Kieran says, I have big news. I won't name and shame the culprit, but one member of the Chelsea travelling cohort has a Love Island suitcase with them as their luggage in the United States, and they're proud of it. Who could this be? Who could this be? I feel like many people will say Cole Palmer, but I don't think it's Cole Palmer. I don't think he's that guy. I think he might be a guy to watch it. I don't think he'll walk around with a suitcase. Reece James might be capable of it. I can't lie. Reece James might be capable of it. I'm trying to think of anyone. Levi Colwill. Levi Colwill could be that guy too. I see you, Levi. I see you. I don't know why. There's a vibe. It's got to be an English lad. There's no way anyone else has got it. Like, imagine Enzo Fernandez. No, that's not. It's an English lad. It has to be an English lad. Dewsbury Hall, maybe. Possibly. Possibly Dewsbury Hall. I think that's it. Tosin, no chance. I don't buy it. I don't think so. Name drop in the comments. Let me know. Who do you think it is? I'd love to know. Now, we move to other clubs before we wrap up. The latest time out of Real Madrid. This you're going to find bizarre. Real Madrid have a strong report on Nick Woltemade and rate him highly. For now, Woltemade's move remains a waiting game. He was linked with Chelsea for a very, very brief amount of time. About a week and a half ago, if you remember. And we did speak about him, and I told you guys that he looks like Berbatov on the pitch. I'm not talking in terms of appearance. He plays like Berbatov. So, Real Madrid, look, I mentioned this. The profile of the player, I get it. It makes sense. But I'm not expecting him to be targeted to walk in as a number one striker. No. Look, for Chelsea, for example, if he were to come in, he would be rotational. It would probably allow us to send Mark Yu out on loan. That's that sort of signing, really. So, but Real Madrid apparently interested too. I get it, because his profile is unique. He's like 6'7" or something. He's 6'8". He's actually quite technical. He's quite quick for his size, really tall lad, but his stride is so large that when he makes one step, it's like free for a normal guy. So he just actually glides. That's why I said he plays like Berbatov. It's mad, except he doesn't look as slow. So that's the thing. We'll see where this one goes very early in the window. I expect this to maybe take a while. So let's see what happens. Arsenal is where we're pretty much going to end. There's been news out of there, and it's interesting. Arsenal submitted proposal worth €11 million package for Christian Norgaard. Negotiations ongoing as Brentford want more and talks continue. Norgaard wants to join Arsenal. We then had Ben Jacobs saying Arsenal have agreed a 10 million plus 5 million fee with Brentford for Christian Norgaard. Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta is the driving force behind the move, and it comes in light of both Jorginho and Thomas Partey leaving on free transfers. And then we have the confirmation that Thomas Partey is set to leave Arsenal as a free agent at the end of this month, as confirmed last week. Arsenal have already activated options to replace Thomas with Norgaard. Talks ongoing with Brentford. I've seen a lot of criticism about this move, right? And I get it. I get it. At face value, you're thinking, you know, even us. I saw this and I went, what? They're going for Norgaard. Like, I don't feel threatened whatsoever. But when you actually look at the business that Arsenal have done, players in, players out, it does actually make sense. And I'll explain why. They've already bought Zubimendi. That's their main midfield signing. That's the one that's going to combine with Declan Rice. Now, off the bench, as Jorginho is gone, Thomas Partey has gone, off the bench, they have Norgaard as an option, as a sub-player, as someone to call upon if they need a help. Not the guy that's going to be in the starting 11. So, I get it. Yeah, that is actually a decent structure, because that player will not expect to walk into the Arsenal team and go, yep, I'm starting. He won't get ahead of Declan Rice. He won't get ahead of Zubimendi. But if they need to bring someone off the bench, Norgaard comes on, it's good squad depth. It's actually decent squad depth. Norgaard's not crap. He's not amazing. He's good. He's all right. He's okay. It's okay. So the Arsenal fans flipping out, going, nah, what the hell? My club don't know what they're doing. What is this? It's a horrible signing. You remember, you signed Zubimendi. Now, if you didn't sign Zubimendi and you only got Norgaard, I will be laughing. But Zubimendi's come through as well. So I don't think it's going to be much of an issue. I think this is actually shrewd a little bit of squad depth, considering that Partey is left for free. Some would argue that is probably the problem. But anyway, let me know your thoughts down below. Cristiano Ronaldo set to sign new deal at Al Nassr as formal documents are being checked. Final detail being discussed. 1 or 2 year deal. Concrete possibility to make it happen until June 2027 if Cristiano wants. If Cristiano wants. The pull on this guy. Massive move for SBL to keep Cristiano. I mean, this guy, honestly, it's like, Habibi. Listen, Cristiano, you do what you want. It's a blank paper, you write whatever you want and we will sign and you will be good. That's it. Shukran, Habibi, shukran. That's it. Cristiano does what he wants. He does what he wants. Yeah? I mean, yeah, good luck to him. He's still going to go and get the bag. He's going to keep playing. And you know what? He is going to break the 1,000 goal barrier. Officially. I know Pele was meant to have done it, but it's unofficial, unfortunately. Ronaldo is like, what, 63 goals away from it? He's going to do it. He's going to. This deal will allow him to do it. And once he does it, he will retire. I think that will be it. But he will probably be the only player ever to officially hit 1,000 career goals. So, good luck to Cristiano. The GOAT. I'm gonna get loads of Messi guys now trying to kill me. Let me know your thoughts down below. Much appreciated. I will see all of you tomorrow for a brand new double. So make sure you're here, subscribe, notification bell on. I'll catch you then in a bit. Look after yourselves, take care, and peace.